Okay, so let me preface this with saying that I got my face waxed yesterday. And normally when I get my face waxed, my skin gets so irritated. So it's a little more irritated than usual. When that happens, I like to use this Clinique clearing gel, and it's like a spot treatment. So you basically put it on wherever you have like a breakout happening or like irritation. So I have it like right here, which is where I normally get it after I wax, because I have sensitive skin. And this is basically salicylic acid. So I put that on, kind of let it dry. And then this is a moisturizer. I like to use the Dramatically Different moisturizer. One of my favorites from Clinique. It's really lightweight, and there's like a gel and a moisturizer. This is the gel. Let me pull up some of the questions that I got. There weren't that many, but I'll talk about my life, kind of how I got started and all that in the process after I finished answering these questions. I get so tired of hearing myself talk, seriously. Okay, found the first question. What brought you to Arkansas? Why did you stay? What's life like in Arkansas? And do you plan on leaving Arkansas? Someone's really interested in Arkansas. So I'm gonna start my makeup while I'm answering this question. Did I bring? Okay. First, I'm gonna use this. It's Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow, and it's kind of like a primer. It creates a glow under your makeup. So I just put a little bit of this on everywhere. It's kind of like a primer also. This is gonna be hard to do my makeup and answer questions, but we'll see. So I came to Arkansas about 11 years ago because my husband is from here. So we met in college in Oklahoma, and I actually thought he was from LA, which is where I'm from, but he wasn't, because he's like kind of cool. He's very charismatic, just like a really cool guy. Everybody loved him in school. He was like really popular. Thought he was from LA, but he wasn't. He was from Arkansas. So we got together our senior year, last semester of our senior year, got engaged in October, and then I moved here in January, and then we got married in March. So I got here a couple months before our wedding, and that was 11 years ago. So technically, I don't know like when you start saying you're from a place, but I've been here a long time now. I like it. It's quiet. Whenever I go back to LA, I'm like, oh my gosh, like so much. It's just like overload all the time with the traffic and everything. But I like it here. And you can get to like Dallas, which is really close. They have a lot of shopping. It's just like, it's kind of in the middle of the country. So it's easy to get to a lot of different places. Prepping my eyes with this L'Oreal Infallible. I think it's like a full coverage concealer. So yeah, back to what I was saying. I've been here 11 years and probably not leaving. Don't think I would want to leave because it's so cheap to live here. You can get a nice house for the same price you can get a small house in California. So I like it. Only thing I don't like is that it's not that diverse. Coming from LA, like I'm used to seeing a lot of different people, a lot of different, cultures. And I just feel like it's really lacking here because, I mean, most people wouldn't even think about Arkansas. I never even knew where it was until I had to move here. But other than that, I like it. Next question. Why did I choose the name Creed for my son? So actually my husband chose that name, and we were just kind of like going through, I mean, you know how it is, like when you're searching for a name for your unborn child, you kind of go through like a million different ideas. So that was just like one of the ideas that he had, and I liked it. It was either Creed or Maverick, and then we thought about Creed Maverick, but we're like, that is such a strong name, like Creed Maverick. So we just decided on Creed Michael, which is my husband's name, Michael. And I think I like it. He looks like a Creed in my opinion. So I'm gonna just start my eyes, and I'm using this very dirty Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. It has a lot of berry colors, so I'm gonna use these because that's like my normal everyday, not normal everyday, but my preferred look. Let me look for another question. Am I a full-time YouTuber? That's another question. I am a full-time influencer or content creator, as they like to call it. If you're like artsy, I think people say content creator, but influencer, content creator. So yes, I am full-time. I've been full-time for about 3 years, so since I had my son. I think I worked for a couple months. Yeah, I just decided to go full-time, which is a blessing. It's definitely like a dream job, but it's harder than I thought. Just being like a full-time content creator, I feel like you have so much pressure to get a lot of things done throughout the day and just always thinking of new content to create, and you know, it's just a lot of pressure. So, but I definitely like, you know, being on my own schedule for the most part. I still have deadlines when I'm working with brands and whatnot. So it's not like you're just out here alone. You still have to answer to people, but those people pay you, so I don't mind. And it's definitely like a dream job, so I love it. Looking for another question. Somebody wanted to know what's in my nightstand. I don't think I could ever show my nightstand. It's so messy and I have so much stuff in it. Another question kind of along the lines of am I full-time influencers is if I have another job. Right now I do not have another job, but I have definitely considered it just to like, so I could be around people, because when you're at home all day, I feel like the only people I talk to are like Instagram people. And I want to socialize more. Like I just want to be around people. And then when I'm not around people, I pick up my son, and it's not like he's just like talking to me all day. So yeah, it's kind of lonely, but I'm not really complaining about it. I'm still using this Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I use this color, obviously you can see I love this color, Hush Hush. And then I'm gonna use Rockstar and Mystic. It's really dirty, but I use it all the time, just for like a berry look. And I think a trick when you're doing your makeup is to make sure you have good brushes. I feel like that is something a lot of people don't invest in. Honestly, brushes are ridiculously expensive, so I totally understand. My mother-in-law bought me my first set of like nice brushes from MAC, and I feel like it really changed the game. So I'm kind of just like adding this color on the outer corners. I did a little too much over here, but I can fix it later. I actually like this eye more than this eye. I don't know that there are a lot more questions on that video. I'm gonna look and see. Someone asked if I'm gonna try for a little girl. I do want more kids. I just feel like I'm so busy right now. But I don't know. I think there's never like a good time. But I've always wanted a lot of kids, and now like practically I'm like, I don't know if I can have a lot of kids, but more kids, yes. I don't care if they're girls or boys though. Either one is fine with me. Okay, those are all the questions on the video. So I'm just gonna talk, well, there was one comment about my candle being too close to the TV. It's gonna burn the TV up, which is really funny because I feel like people on YouTube are way more opinionated than people on Instagram. It's like they just offer their opinion, or you guys offer your opinion like about everything, which is really interesting to me. I feel like people on Instagram are not that like involved. Just an observation. But I like both communities like equally. Okay, so pretty much done with my eyes. It just requires a whole lot of blending. Blend, blend, blend. So you can kind of see what they look like. I did my eyebrows earlier because I could not stand to look at myself with no eyebrows. I know that sounds like ridiculous, but I just can't. So I went to the gym earlier and I just put on like eyebrows, a little bit of this, so that when you sweat you look glowy. I really love this Charlotte Tilbury. I also like the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. Okay, the eyes look pretty good. So I'm gonna touch up my brows just a tad, and I'm gonna use the Anastasia Dip Brow in dark brown. I think this is like the most popular eyebrow product ever, and this is just like a MAC brush. So I think I could start just talking about how I got started, kind of told you how I ended up in Arkansas. I'm from LA, so I lived in LA until I was, well, so I went to college, and then after college I went back to LA for about a year. Less than a year actually, about 9 months, until a couple months before my wedding in Arkansas. I wanted to have a wedding in LA, but I couldn't find, it just wasn't working out. I couldn't find a great location that I loved. And my husband his family has a church in Arkansas, and I just felt like it was right to do it here. So I actually did it at his church, and it just felt right. Everything that I was doing in California just didn't feel right. I don't know, I had this wedding planner, I didn't like her, my mom hired her. I was really upset about it, and she just wasn't my vibe like at all, and I just was feeling so trapped. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I just ended up doing it here in Arkansas, but it all worked out. But I do want to have another wedding. Wanted to do it for our 10-year anniversary, but I had a collection that came out at Lane Bryant on the day of our 10-year anniversary, which was last year. So doing the anniversary party, I knew like a year before, not a year, about 9 months out that was not gonna happen. So I think we'll wait till 15, or I could just do like a random year. I'm using a concealer to clean up my brows a little bit. This is the Double Duty Shape Tape from Tarte. I really love it. I wonder if I should be doing that. And I just use a flat brush to clean up the brow a little bit. So I moved here and worked with my husband and his family, and I did like administrative work basically at their church. While I was working there, I also started working at Anthropologie because I loved retail so much. Before that, I worked at Lane Bryant, which I actually liked more than Anthropologie. Well, I liked working there mainly because they had my size, and I liked helping people find clothes, and it was just my vibe. And I think that's kind of like where I started, like how I realized like what kind of led me on this path. So I liked helping people find clothes. I like being around clothes all day, and so I kind of fell in love with retail. First I worked at Lane Bryant. That was in college. So throughout my college career, I basically worked there. And then once I graduated, I went back to LA, worked at Neiman Marcus at Fashion Island, doing a management internship, which I really liked. And that, when I was there, I learned about luxury and luxury brands, because before that I did not know anything. Literally, I knew nothing. But my husband did, so he was like, you need to get everything you can get while you're working there, because he was like, Dad, you cannot get like discounts like that. But of course I didn't listen, and only thing I bought were like things for him. If I could go back in time, definitely would have bought myself like a Chanel bag or something crazy. But you know, when you're like in that stage of your relationship, you're like engaged, you love this person so much, you just want to spoil them and buy them everything. So that's what I did. Yeah, so worked there for about between 6 and 9 months. Then I came here, worked at the office, but then I also worked at Anthropologie. And when I was working at Anthropologie, that's when I started my blog. Didn't have anything to do with Anthropologie, I just started it. And I started it because there was a girl who I followed on Instagram, and she wanted to feature me on her blog. And I was like, well, if she's gonna feature me, I need something for her to feature, obviously. Like, I didn't have a website or anything. All I had was an Instagram page. So I started my page, or my website, the night before her blog post went live. So I really owe a lot to her. Her name is Mia the Boss. I don't know if that's still her name, but so I pretty much started it because she was gonna feature me. Now I'm just doing a little highlighter under my brow. And the next step, I'm going to do my foundation. This is my favorite foundation. It's Estee Lauder Double Wear. Everybody loves this foundation. I'm wearing shade 3W2, which is cashew, but Sometimes I wear Bond, which is 3W1.5. I'm gonna put it in. I just got this brush and it has like a hole in the middle, and I just realized, well, someone told me yesterday or this past weekend that you're supposed to put your foundation in here and it's supposed to be the perfect amount of foundation. So I'm actually gonna try that. Seems like a lot of foundation to me. So I'm gonna apply this while I continue our get to know me. So yeah, I loved retail. I loved working at all three places because they each taught me a lot. Lane Bryant was the most fun. I loved the people I worked with. I could fit the clothes. So of course most of my check went to buying clothes. But I also really liked the customer and being able to encourage women and, you know, help them pick out outfits, tell them they looked beautiful, encouraging them to try new things. So that really carried over into my blog. When I worked at Anthropologie, it was a little different. I mainly bought jewelry, and then the customer was just different. Obviously, they didn't have plus sizes at the time, so it's just a different like customer base. So yeah, I started my blog, quit Anthropologie. Actually, I think I quit Anthropologie right before my first magazine spread came out. I was in People Style Watch and I had like a whole page, and I think I quit right before that came out, or right after it came out, something around there. So yeah, I just posted a lot on Instagram, posted to my blog. My first big campaign was for Eloquii. They brought me to New York and we did a shoot. I styled a model. It was just like a big deal to me. And I loved Eloquii, so I'm very loyal to them. I'm just a loyal person in general. So that was my first like big thing and my first big check. I was like, oh my gosh. And then later found out I should have got paid more. So you live and you learn, but I didn't know. Because before that, I think the most I ever got paid was $100. So I was just like, you know, I just didn't know. Because there was really nobody that I could ask. I followed Gabby Fresh, I followed Nicolette. Gabby's name back then was Young, Fat, and Fabulous. So I followed her, followed Nicolette, followed another girl named Fat Girls Blues, Miranda. It's just like, those are like the OG people of plus size blogging. Probably other ones, but those are the ones I followed. And I think when I first went to KirbyCon, which was in New York, I remember I wanted to go to Full Figure Fashion Week, but they said they weren't doing it anymore. And I just like couldn't really afford to go the last year. And then KirbyCon came about. So I ended up going to KirbyCon, and that was the first time I met people in my industry. And I loved it so much. And it was just like you get to meet all these people that you follow. And it was just awesome. And then I got a lot of friends from that. I think I was actually on a panel. So everything just kind of grew from there. And then my ultimate goal has always been to have a clothing collection or a clothing line. So last year, I got my first big collab with Lane Bryant, which is so full circle because that's where it all started. So it's just like a full circle moment to have a collection with Lane Bryant. That's where you started your whole retail career, your whole fashion career. So I was like so ecstatic about that. Like the day it came out, I was just like crying so much because I just felt like full. It just felt like everything that I was doing finally came full circle. And it's like such a good feeling. I could cry again right now. But yeah, so I think that's just kind of how it came about, how everything came about. And a lot of people ask me, how do you get into it, or like how do you become successful? And the one word I always tell people is consistency. You have to be super consistent, especially now because the market is so saturated. There's so many bloggers, so many plus size bloggers, there's body positive bloggers. It's just a lot of people out here. So you have to be super consistent. Anyone that I have seen become successful, it has been because they are consistent. And that's a lot of work, especially when you first start, because most of the time you still have your regular job. So you have to shoot on the weekends. I shot on the weekends probably for like 6 years, every single weekend. And to me it wasn't work because I loved it, but that is work, you know, to sacrifice every weekend for 5 or 6 years to do something that you don't really know exists. Because when I was doing that, I was just doing it because I liked creating content. I liked getting dressed. I liked styling outfits for myself. I don't love styling other people. I like doing outfits, and I loved shooting. I just loved everything. I still do. I still have to shoot on the weekends anymore. But yeah, it's work, you know, and it's sacrifice. Okay, so let me go back to makeup. So I just am doing like kind of like a cut crease. So I put concealer, and then I'm gonna do a little shimmer shadow, and it just helps keep the shimmer separated from this other color. So yeah, it's a sacrifice, but if you love it, then it's worth it. So my husband did my photos for about, he's done my photos the whole time I've been blogging, until last year I got another photographer, only because we were shooting on the weekends, so we couldn't do anything besides shoot, and it's just not healthy or really feasible to do that. So since I stay home now, I had to find someone that I could shoot with and that I liked, because that's also a thing. Like, I shot with a couple people here locally, wasn't really comfortable with any of them, and then I finally found an amazing photographer that I'm comfortable with, and like we just work really well together. Finding a photographer that you're really comfortable with is really vital and really important. I went through about 4 and I didn't find one, not only that you're comfortable with, but that can work with your schedule. Everybody's not flexible, so you have to find someone kind of with a flexible schedule. I need someone that can be like, if I'm like, I need to shoot today or tomorrow, that they can say, okay, yeah, I can do that. Not everyone can do that, and I understand that, but if you can't do that, you can't work with me. So that's also like a big thing, and I really looked for years. So really happy I finally found someone, and I love her. Okay, back to makeup. I'm gonna do a liner. This is Sam Marcel. I love this eyeliner so much. It goes on really smooth. So the next thing, this video is getting kind of long. I'm gonna kind of like hurry through it a little bit. I'm gonna do my bronzer. This is the Morphe palette. I'm gonna get some of that. I don't really use blushes much anymore. I'm gonna do a little contour. That color had a little bit more peach in it, so I'm gonna do this one and just do my nose. This is the Becca highlighter in Opal. I really need to get a full-size version. This is so trifling to me. It's like shattered. Under my eye, brush cleaner is also really essential. That's the Beauty Blender Insta Clean. You can use your beauty blender with it, or your brushes. I really like it. I didn't understand at first. I was like, how do you clean your beauty blender? But my friend who's a makeup artist told me you're supposed to keep your beauty blender clean. So like you should clean it almost every day. Not every day, but every couple days. I don't. I clean mine like once a month. But I have like 5. But apparently after you use it, you can spray the beauty blender and then wipe the makeup off. See? That's so much better already. So I'm not going to take time to do this because this video is getting so long. I'm going to do a little purple under my eye. I'm going to use that, well, let me set it first. I'm going to use the Huda banana bread powder, banana powder. I did not bring a sponge, and let's use my beauty blender. Nothing is here. I'll probably have to put more highlighter on after this. I forgot this step. This is just like doing a little bit of contouring. And I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. And then just wipe it all off and then reapply the highlighter as I put on my lashes. These are the Ardell. I think these are wispies, but they're kind of like double wispies. But I was thinking about trying the Moxie Lash just because I've been seeing them on my Instagram ads. And I watched a video on YouTube and apparently they work pretty well. The Moxies are the magnetic lashes. Well, the magnetic eyeliner. So did I bring a brush? Just the brush. And then I'm gonna use some highlighter. I'm actually use a different color. This is MAC Beaming Blush. This is kind of what it looks like. Also dropped this. I need to get another one. And then you can kind of like blend it all together with your beauty blender. I'm gonna put my lashes on. But I just put on this other lash. And I need setting spray, but I didn't bring any. But you can just imagine me. Oh, and lips. I have a lip liner here. Might just use this. This is Spice from MAC. Oh, before I do that, to prep my lips, I use this Korres Olive lip oil. I love it. So I just filled my lips in with Spice. A trick that I learned actually is to go around your lipstick, lip liner, whatever, with concealer, and then put a little highlighter. I feel like that makes like it look more defined. And then just add a little highlighter right there. This is a long video, so hopefully if you made it through, yay for you. I hope you feel like you got to know me a little bit more. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications so that you know when I'm posting a new video. New videos will be every single Monday. So we're gonna get on a schedule. We were on a schedule, then holidays, then we got off. So every Monday we'll have new videos and we'll probably be back with another try on next week. Let me know where you want a try on from because I'm running out of places. I know spring is about to, all the spring arrivals are about to come out, or they have started coming out. So I'll probably do some of the same places, but just like the new spring stuff. And I know I need to do Boohoo, Fashion Nova. I think I want to do American Eagle. But yeah, just let me know what you guys want to see as far as try-ons. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.